Today I am going to show you how to make this V-stitch baby blanket. I really like this as a nice summertime thin lightweight blanket. It's a very simple pattern and I will show you how to do it. It's basically once you get the starting chain done and you begin your first and second row, it's super easy. It works up very, very fast. So the yarn that I'm going to be using for this is, I love this yarn. It is from Hobby Lobby. The color of this one is soft blue. You get 355 yards. It does call for a 5mm crochet hook, but today I am going to be using a 6.5. I use a 6.5 for this just because I want it to be a little more open and a little more of a lacy look rather than a tighter stitch. So to begin, we're going to start with a slip knot. Oops. We're going to chain a multiple of 13 plus 3. So all you have to do is chain out as many as you want the width of your blanket to be. Just make sure that that number that you start with is a multiple of 13 and then you add 3 at the end. So I'm just going to do a small swatch just to show you how to do this blanket. Okay, and then we're going to add 3. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, now to start the actual pattern. So to start the actual pattern, what you're going to do is you're going to go into the 5th chain from the hook. So remember, we never count the chain that is actually on the hook. We always start counting from this chain here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're going to put a double crochet into that 5th chain from your hook. Then you're going to do one chain. So you're going to do a double crochet, chain 1, then you're going to do a double crochet right into that same chain space. So it's going to look like this. This is your turning chain. This is your V. A V stitch is a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. Then you're going to skip 2 chains, 1, 2. In the 3rd chain, you're going to do another V stitch, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. Skip 2 stitches, V stitch into the 3rd. Double crochet, chain 1, double crochet right into the same stitch. You're going to do this all the way till you get to the end. Skip 2 into the 3rd, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. Then when you get to the end, you should have 3 chains. 1, 2, 3. into that third chain, because you did your V-stitch, you're skipping 2, into the last chain, you're just going to put 1 double crochet. You're not going to do another V-stitch into that last chain, you're only going to do a 1 double. Okay, this is what your work should look like. Your starting chain here, you chained up, that counts as a double crochet right here. So this counts as a double crochet on the end, just 1 double crochet. Then you started your V-stitches. You're ending on 1 double crochet also. That is what is going to keep your edge straight. If you do V-stitches on the end, you're going to have wonky edges. They're going to go all in and out because of the V-stitch. So to keep a straight edge, you're going to always have a single double crochet on each end. And in between that, for the pattern, you're going to have double crochet, chain 1, double crochet to make your actual V-stitch. So when you get to the end, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to chain up 3. 1, 2, 3. Because again, that is keeping your edge straight. That is going to act as your double crochet. Turn your work. From here on out, it's going to be very simple. Inside your V's, where you have this hole, which is your chain 1 space, that is where you're going to put each of your V-stitches from here on out. So you've chained your 3. Into your V, you're going to put a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. Skip over these 2 stitches, so it's still the same pattern. V-stitch, skip 2, V-stitch into the hole where the prior V-stitch on the bottom row is. This blanket works up super fast, especially if you use a larger hook. I really like it for summertime thin, airy blankets. They're really good for baby blankets. Last V-stitch here. Now here was your starting chain. This was the stitches that we skipped in the beginning row. At the top of that, you're going to put in 1 double crochet. And this is what your work should look like. So you can see here that the edges, they're going to be straight because we're doing those chain 3s on the end. From here, you're going to just repeat the pattern. Chain up 3, turn your work. Inside this V-stitch right here, you're going to make another V. Double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. Into the next V, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. Find your next V, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. And that is your V-stitch pattern. And as you work along, your blanket will look like this. You'll have a nice straight edge. You can put a border on this if you want to. If you don't want to, you don't have to. You can put little tassels on the corner if you decide to. But either way, it's a nice, light, airy blanket. And this works up super easy. This is for a baby shower that I'm going to this weekend, so it'll take me probably 2 days to do the baby blanket size, and it'll be all done. So I hope this helps. I just want to make sure that you can actually see what I'm doing. So inside this V-stitch, I'm just going to make another V-stitch. double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. Next V-stitch hole, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. Now here is my chain 3 from my previous row. So in the top of that, I'm going to put a double crochet. And again, here's my straight edge from all these chain 3s and double crochets. Then we're going to chain up 3 and turn our work. Then into this next V-stitch, we're just going to continue with the pattern. Double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. All the way along until you get the blanket as big as you want it. You can even put a border around the edge if you want when you're done. You don't have to. That's another reason I like this pattern, because the edges are pretty straight, so you don't necessarily have to put a border on it if you don't want to. Typically I do put a single crochet border all the way around, but sometimes I don't. It's just, it all depends on how it looks and what my mood is at the time. But there you go. There is your V-stitch baby blanket. I am still working on my baby blanket here, but I just wanted to take a quick second and show you how I change colors for yarn, also how I attach a new skein of yarn. There's lots of different ways to do this. I just think this way is a lot easier. So this is how I do it. So what I do is I take, this is my working yarn here, this is attached to my project, and this is the end of the yarn here. So I grab my new end here on my new skein, and I turn them so that they are facing opposite directions. And then I just take the one that has the end here, wrap it around my finger and also around the skein that's attached to my project here. So I wrap it around, and then I just make a knot like that, pull it tight. Then I go over to the other end that has this end here, and I do the same thing. Wrap it around my finger with both strands of yarn there and tie it in a knot, pull it tight. So what you'll have will look like this. You will have 2 knots and 2 ends, and then all you do is you pull, and you can pull it really tight, and then I snip these ends off as close as possible to the actual knot. Don't cut the knot, but you can cut pretty close. I've never had any of these ever fall apart. They are very tight. There's actually 2 knots, and when you pull it, they just get tighter and tighter. They go against each other. And then you can just continue down the line with your project. And it's actually really easy. It covers up pretty easy. So it doesn't look like there's a big old knot in the middle of your project or anything like that. I just want to try to get down here to the knot real quick just so I can show you. Oops. Trying to rush and I'm losing my yarn. So this baby blanket is about halfway done, and I've used 1 full roll. So probably use at least another half of this roll, maybe a little bit more than half. Maybe I'll use the whole thing, I don't know. It just all depends on the sizing that I'm feeling at the time, because it is going to just be a thin little summertime baby blanket. So here is your knot right here, where you attach both skeins together. So as you just sew right along. Your knot is right in here, and you can barely see it, and by the time it's a blanket, you're really not going to be able to see it at all. So the knot is right there. It'll just blend in really nice. That's also how I do color changes. I'll show you in another video how I do my color changes. It works a little bit different, but it's the same concept, and it's really a seamless process. So I just wanted to show you that because I realized that I hadn't showed you how I attach a new ball of yarn to that.